Today's episode is brought to you by Nate's Gates. Coming home late? Save your fate. No need to wait. Trust Nate's Gates, the quiet gate.
Welcome to the Fuck You Fat Guys podcast, episode 6. This is your host, W. Andrew James. This is the penultimate episode of season 1 of the show, as the next episode will be the last. But do not fret, my friends. The podcast will return for season 2 in the very near future. I am very excited to bring you an exclusive interview with Chappy. Chappy is a substitute FU fat guy. He fills in for Bob and Gary when they have a conflict in their schedule or when they are sick. He has been doing this for a number of years without any thanks or gratitude from Bob and Gary. Before we get to this extended interview, I have some phone and email messages to get to. Here is one from Chappy as we were trying to coordinate today's pre-recorded interview. D-Rill?
Hey. Hey, buddy, it's Chappy. Just calling to see what's going on with you. Just call me back whenever you get this message. All right, later.
I received several calls from Uncle Gert. If you will recall, Uncle Gert was the janitor at Bob and Gary's high school. One such call was, I think the kids call it, a butt dial. D-Rill, please play that call.
Hey. Welcome to Arby's. Can I take your order, please?
Yeah, let me get one of them J-Mocha shakes and 6 Arby's roast beef sandwiches. You better give me some goddamn Arby's sauce and some horse's sauce, son of a bitch.
I'm sorry, sir, but our shake machine is broken today. I cannot offer you a Jamocha shake. Can I offer you a selection of cola products instead?
What you got up in there, son?
Well, we've got cola, Diet Cola, Dr. Pep, Mr. Mountain. What would you like, sir?
Why don't you give me a cola soda pop there, son? Put too much ice in there, I'm gonna come back looking for you. You understand me there?
Yes, sir. So you want a soda pop, not too much ice, and 6 Arby's roast beef sandwiches with Arby's sauce and hoisin sauce. Please drive through and I'll give you your total at the window.
Okay, son of a bitch. Oh, snakies, it looks like I butt dialed somebody on my telephone. Hopefully that wasn't that W. Andrew James son of a bitch.
I do not see how Uncle Gert does not suffer from gastronomic distress with that diet. Here is a phone message that I received several hours after my interview with Uncle Gert in episode 4 of the FUFG podcast show. D-Rill?
Hey.
This is Uncle Gert calling you. I need $100 to get my car out of impound. You better call me. Don't be like an asshole like them Bob and Gary sons of bitches. Call me.
It does seem like I am now Uncle Gert's go-to friend for his personal problems. Oh joy. Well, you can see why I need a sabbatical between seasons. D-Real, before we play the Chappy episode, can you hand me my stapler? I need to put away my notes for this show.
Hey,
D-Real, did you use the last staple?
how would I know?
Whatever do you mean?
If the stapler worked for me, how would I know it's the last one?
I suppose that makes logical sense, but it does little to temper my frustrations. Just run the interview while I go look for a box of staples.
Jerk.
I'd like to welcome Chappy to the Fuck You Fat Guys podcast. Welcome, Chappy.
Nice to be here with you.
Now, Chappy is the stand-in for Bob and Gary when they need a sick day. Is that right?
Well, it's a lot more than that, but yeah, if you just want to kind of reduce it to that, that's fine. I'm more than just a stand-in when they need a quote-unquote sick day. But keep going.
Okay. So, where did you first encounter Bob and Gary?
Is this how this whole interview is going to be? These are kind of like, these are the kind of questions you got, huh? Okay. Well, so the first time I met, I guess we'll go back to the beginning. Yeah. The first time I met Bob and Gary, it was on the corner of Central and Broadway in Glendale. And I had just gotten fired from my job at the Glendale Galleria. I was working at the Chipotle there. And I just fucking hated food service, man. And I just couldn't handle it. And I couldn't hack it there. And I was fucking off and showing up late and showing up drunk and all that. I just fucking hated it. So I got fired from Chipotle by a kid who was probably 5 years younger than me, who was my manager. And then I just walked around and got drunk in the bathroom at the mall. And I was sitting outside, and I was on the corner of Glendale, or on the corner of Broadway and Central, and I see these two guys sitting on the corner with no shirts on, and I was fat, and I thought I was fat, and these guys were twice the size I was, each of them, with no shirt on. And I thought they were the most beautiful things I'd ever seen. And they were both fighting over a kebab plate that they got from some Mediterranean place, over like who was going to get the last kebab. And they were kind of in a heated argument about it. So that was the first time I saw them.
What was your initial reaction to meeting Bob and Gary?
Well, I just kind of sat there and watched them for a while. I didn't meet them immediately. I just didn't want to go up to them. I just wanted to watch them. I was just mesmerized with them. I was like, who are these two guys out here just sitting on the corner with no fucking shirts on, fighting over this kebab? And so they were trying to scrounge up money to get another kebab plate, I think. And so I was already just kind of in a low point, pretty drunk anyway, and I decided I just wish I could have hung out with these guys. And so they were trying to scrounge up money and trying to spange for money. And I gave them
I had $25 in my pocket, and I gave them $5 so they could get a kebab plate. They didn't even say thank you.
What was their first reaction to you?
They told me to fuck off.
So from that first reaction, how did the relationship develop?
Well, from that moment, I knew that I really wanted to be around these guys and be friends with them. I just loved how wide open they were. I loved how free they were. They didn't even say thank you for the $5. They told me to fuck off. That was crazy to me. I'd never met dudes like that before. And so they were what I moved to California to LA from the South. I was really having a hard time. And I met these two dudes, and they were just like, they just totally represented. It just clicked. Like, I was like, these are the kind of guys I want to be around. They're the kind of dudes I want to be like. And so, I don't know. I just started hanging around, and I guess they're pretty, a pretty tight-knit crew of Bob and Gary. It was kind of hard to penetrate in, but I was kind of determined. I just really wanted to hang out. And so as long as I had money to burn on chicken shawarma, they let me hang around.
How did you come to become a surrogate? FUFG.
Oof. Well, I don't even know if I am a surrogate yet. You can't just call yourself that. I mean, that's pretty established. I wouldn't even put that term on myself. I don't even know how you got that term.
How was your first experience as a stand-in FUFG? What was that like for you, Chappy?
I was really, really nervous. I was pretty self-conscious about my body. And so it just kind of took a little, those guys just have all the confidence in the world, They just bleed confidence. And I just didn't have that. And so, it took a while. I was kind of scared. But, man, what a rush. And what a feeling I felt. It felt so right. It felt like exactly what I was supposed to be doing. It was an amazing feeling. I remember that first time like it was yesterday.
How has being a proxy for the FUFGs impacted your life?
How's it impacted my life? Shit, man, you can't. I thought this was like a puff piece. I thought you can't ask me like my favorite color or anything like that. What the fuck kind of questions are these, man? Where'd they find you? Anyway, I guess how's it impacted my life? Well, like I said, I just gotten fired from my job, and I was in a pretty low place in my life. Man, I was sitting there on that corner thinking about going back to church because I just needed something to give my life to. And then I met Bob and Gary, and I thank God I did.
What are your interactions with Bob and Gary like?
I always hear you only pick on ones you like. You only pick on the ones you love. And so it's a lot of, to the outsider, I know it looks like they treat me like a little brother. And I know it looks like, they're razzing me all the time. And I'm kind of, and they're spending all my money. And people say they're taking advantage of me. But people don't see, what it's like behind the scenes and how it really is a partnership and how, those guys really do respect me, I believe. And they respect what I bring to the table.
Do you think you will ever be promoted, and I use this term loosely, to an official FUFG status?
What's your name?
W. Andrew James.
W. Andrew James?
That is my nomenclature.
What's that W stand for? Wuss? Wuss Andrew James? Is that you?
I have heard that before.
Really? Well, it's hard to say, to be an official FUFG. I don't know. I'm just happy to be along for the ride. And, I feel like I'm being used in the position I'm in very well. But, it's one of those things you put in your time. You think the hell's ain't.